Son, where'd you find this?
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late, they cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll tolerate it.
The flow insane, take my spot, so the range. Shoot my shot with perfect aim. 3rd degree, that perfect flame. Ain't no sleep, that's the game. Oh, so southern, that's the slang. When they see me, that's the main. Chasing checks and fly like planes. Big old stick, I bought a cane. Flick my wrist and bought the ring. I'm so boss, we're not the same. Paid the cost and kept the change. Now I'm walking Hall of Fame. And I reside in the cloud. Grand wishes with these bitches. Taking pictures with the crowd, and I'm out.
What up, what up, what up? Hey, peace and blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Sunday, good people. I hope all is well with y'all, man. Monday's right around the corner. And I want to say this real quick. Be safe. I hope and pray that you allow this weekend to cleanse you of anything that might be weighing you down. Had a chance to change your mindset, to get your perspective in order. By the time that this conversation is over, I pray that we can all have a different understanding of the severity of the sheer ignorance that is currently present in this community. Because I'm not just talking about the Black community. I'm talking about us as a whole. From house to house, this is a problem. At least this triggered me. I can't speak for nobody else. So this is what I'm going to do. I got a clip I want to play for y'all. I don't normally stream on Sundays. Most of the time, I just take time off. But I got to get this off my chest. I'm going to put this up on the big screen. I'm going to let it play. I'm going to add more context, give my 2 cents, and we'll just proceed with the rest of the evening. So y'all do what y'all will with this. Let's go over here. Anthony, Carmelo Anthony. He was just sentenced to 35 years for the death, the murder of Austin Metcalf. It's a conversation that is going on even as we speak right now, on most apps, I don't think there's one where there isn't a conversation going on about it. I'm seeing Black people on Twitter having to defend themselves because they're getting death threats, and people are calling this person a traitor or sellout. And then you have Charleston White saying he's not messing with the Anthonys no more, on some scammer stuff. Jeff Metcalf voices how he feels about the decline in the Black culture, how disgusted he is with how the case went and everything else in between. And I understand everybody feels a certain type of way about this. But this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna shut up, let the kid play, and we're going neatly kind of just compact this.
The man who urinated on 17-year-old Austin Metcalf's grave has now been arrested. According to reports, the suspect is an aspiring rapper. What outraged people even more was that he didn't just do it. He filmed the entire thing and posted it online as if it were something to be proud of. The caption read, "I woke up and chose violence." Austin Metcalf was the 17-year-old boy who was stabbed in the chest and killed by Carmelo Anthony during a high school track meet in Texas. A child who has already lost his life should never become the target of humiliation. But the video spread across social media like a virus. And before long, more and more people began imitating the behavior. They recorded themselves while loudly expressing support for Carmelo, as if humiliating a dead teenager who could no longer defend himself was some kind of badge of honor. You can believe the case involved racial controversy. You can openly support Carmelo Anthony. But a child who has already passed away should never become the object of public disgrace. Eventually, authorities launched an investigation and filed charges against the man. According to reports, he is now facing multiple charges, including cemetery desecration, offenses related to the abuse or mistreatment of human remains, and other felony charges.
Big screen, big screen, big screen. I want to give y'all some context to break down this a little bit. I did a little digging because I wanted to make sure that I got my information right. That video is AI generated. The story was, what's the word I'm looking for? They stretched the truth, right? There was no rapper. What actually happens is that a bunch of creators photoshopped, used AI to basically disrespect the Metcalf family, disrespect Anthony Metcalf's grave by taking photos and piecing them together to appear as if they are urinating on his grave. I know a lot of people don't care. I think first I want to address how disappointed I am in the culture. Remember a while back when we was having conversations about how dangerous it would be for AI to be utilized in the wrong hands? how if the wrong people got access to this technology, what they could do, the damage that could be presented to the rest of the public. Remember how everybody was so thrilled and so happy that they didn't have to do too much of anything aside from press the button in order to get their homework done, to get to point A and point B without having to do research or having to have heart-to-heart conversations anymore, not to sit in front of or across from people. Now all you got to do is type in a prompt and you can create whatever conversation you want. You can create whatever story you want. Remember that. Here we are. I give you exhibit C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, O, middle P. One of 1,000 reasons why I was always against AI. Just one of many of them. It's not bad enough that we spend the majority of our life miserable, bitter, heavily laden, burdened, pressured to show up when we don't feel like it, back against the wall in every way possible, filled with mirth, filled with anger, hatred, bigotry, condemnation. If that wasn't enough, a family, they lose their child. Everybody is torn with their own opinions. Doesn't really seem like people are really upset with the fact that the brother lost his life. It come off like people are more upset that the black kid either didn't get a lesser sentence or got put behind bars because you're projecting. I'm gonna keep it a whole buck. I've said on record that the way that this case went down, the way that this whole situation went down is it's a compilation of a number of things, right? Lack of maturity, lack of accountability, responsibility, point the finger at both sides of it, right? We live in this world where when you make up your own laws and your own rules that benefit your negative behaviors, the person who is romanticizing it, they have this headset in front of their face that doesn't allow them to see the destruction that is forthcoming or forthwith. So you got men and women who are promiscuous, spreading diseases, spreading spiritual sickness, women that are spreading verbal spiritual sickness. You get in front of a camera, you get behind your car, driver's seat, You prop your camera up, make sure you got on the nice outfit, and then you give a story time about how men ain't this or women ain't this or whatever the case is. And then it goes out to hundreds and thousands of people depending on how the algorithm pushes it. That's all people know. Speak on or give a perspective that is outside of supporting or advocating for death, violence, and being impartial based on feelings, based on colorism and all that shit. You're a target. People want you canceled. People don't want to hear what you gotta say. I'm accustomed to it, quite frankly. We are some of the most hypocritical humans on the face of the planet. You want justice, you want freedom, but what comes with true freedom? You think I'm just randomly saying things just to be randomly saying things? Never in my 40 plus years of life did I think that an eye for an eye was a true measurement of character that made you better, bigger, softer, tougher, godlier, holier, more righteous. Everybody who applies the eye for an eye, if we're being completely honest, that is one of the greatest weaknesses and flaws that you could have. Your eye for an eye doesn't work. It never worked. Eye for an eye, the only thing it does is transfer energy from one person to the next person. So you are angry that your brother or sister gets killed for being out in the street doing street things. You want revenge, so you retaliate in such manner. Or someone gives you HIV, but you wasn't using discernment. You wasn't properly vetting this man or this woman that you decided to have intercourse with. Or you get on social media, someone leaves an ignorant comment under your post, and you engage it with equal or worse of a response. And you have the right to do that. But guess what? For every action, there's a reaction. You know it, and I know it. Nobody won in this case. Nobody. And actually, everything that y'all doing in response doesn't help either. It's all counterproductive. All of it. You got every right to feel how you feel. The justice system can and will never be perfect. Get over it. We won't get the justice or the level of justice that we ask for until the Lord Jesus Christ comes back himself and restores order. There's no human on this planet that is capable of being in the type of position to do the job that is required to treat everybody neutral. Y'all be fucking losing your mind. I'm gonna be as considerate of my language as possible. I can't promise that throughout this exchange that I'm going to just be like, because it is what it is. You kill them, then somebody from their side come back and kill you or somebody that you know. You go out here, you want to be a promiscuous man or a woman and have sex with random people playing around with others' life. They contract something that they didn't ask for. Their life is over because of you. You don't give a shit. But guess what? You know what you just did? You stole from them. Now they have nothing to live for. They go and they take out their anger and their frustrations on everybody else that had nothing to do with what happened to them. Why am I saying all this? Y'all still don't get it. This ain't got nothing to do with race. This is about temperament. This was about lack of maturity, improper upbringing, a toxic culture that celebrates being angry and using violence and intimidation to make other people feel small, whether or not you was white or black. Salutes, my G. We all play a role in the destructive nature that has befallen us. You think you're the only one that gets their feelings hurt when someone says something derogatory towards your kids or your family, or they say something about your mom or your dad or something like that? You think you're the only one that gets triggered by that stuff? You think you're the only one that gets offended when a racist man or a woman gets out of body and does something to you? A post presented itself to me earlier about a woman named Rizzle or something like that. I think she was like an African woman or something on TikTok. I guess she was popular at some point. She started hanging out in this group called Messy TikTok. Messy TikTok alone already sounds like a problem. How are you grown as men and women being entertained by something called messy talk, messy TikTok? Why does that attract you? Honest question. This is for the playbackers, or, this is my time capsule. But I think about this stuff. She joined Messy TikTok. She started hanging out with these women on social media that I guess had nice followings, but she ended up unaliving herself on live stream. She was getting bullied by the very same people that she went to for comfort, that she went to for support, for love, for community. And mind you, these are Black women, Black men and Black women that were bullying her. And if I'm not mistaken, even right now to this day, they still do it. She hung herself live on stream. I'm gonna take my time with this one. It's a paradox. You get triggered by the simplest stuff, but you have so much judgment in your own mouth. you can take orders from your boss on the job, but you can't listen to the man that loves you. You can support black businesses when it becomes a racial issue, but you can't support black businesses when there's no drama going on. You got smoke for men who call out women for being 304s and overly sexualizing themselves and devaluing themselves, giving you as a fellow woman a bad name, but you have no smoke for the women that is causing another generation to become something that is going to be completely destructive in the future. By the time we hit 2030, everybody is going to be dressing like Ruby Rod from Fifth Element. Every man damn near is going to look like Ruby Rod from the Fifth Element. You think it's a joke until you see Bama's like ASAP Rocky wearing thongs, and you see these grown ass men out here wearing skirts and trying to make it a fashion thing. See, there's a reaction for every action. My point is, Austin Metcalf was murdered. And I keep it a whole being with you. I didn't follow the trial. You know why? Because we are just watching, we're observing, we're only getting what they give us. I don't trust the justice system. If I'm not physically there, all we can really do is speculate. Now, if y'all trying to tell me that y'all got inside information, like receipts and videos and footage from the Metcalf family, from the school, you got all the documentation and the records that can represent your case, fulfilling however you do, cool. But if you don't, because I don't, I'm not going to say one thing or another. I'm going to say that man took the life of another young man. He should be in jail. I don't know if he was in danger of being jumped or if he adopted the toxic piece of black culture that y'all continue to support. And he used it. What you getting mad at me for? Or why are you getting upset with anyone who is being fair and neutral about the situation? You clown black men for hugging black men. You clown black men for having mental issues. You clown black men for being vulnerable. And don't tell me you don't. You weaponize his issues, his pain, his frustrations. You weaponize it. You use it against them. You hate accountability. You run from it. You avoid it. It's easier for you to duck and dodge it. Do you know how many videos I post and upload that would make you shut up? Black on black is not a myth. I went to school with bullies. I got bullied in school by black people for doing absolutely nothing. I'm just in school trying to survive, trying to get through. Black on black. That woman unalived herself live on TikTok and was bullied by the very same skin complexion that just put a knife in that man's chest. And then you mean to tell me that you find it normal to get online, use AI to create memes and videos and clippings of another black person taking a piss on somebody's graveyard, on somebody's tombstone, my nigga? What? And Sean, bro, I'm one of them people where I would have to have been there for myself. Because the shit reminds me of like the Epstein files, right? They keep saying they don't have enough to prove that these people did this and did that, even though they've been destroying and deleting as much evidence as possible. We know what the fuck is going on. It reminds me of that. It reminds me of the case with the black kid that they rolled up in the wrestling mat. And they trying to pretend like they don't know what the fuck going on. The truth of the matter is there's two sides to it. It's either Carmelo said, you know what, man, I'm black. I listen to 50 Cent and I'm a street nigga. I listen to hip hop and I listen to rap and I got all of these ancestors on my back who do this and do that, and unless he was either on that type of shit, because I see it every fucking day. Niggas can't even go in other areas in the neighborhood. If you ain't from there, you are a fucking enemy. Y'all can shut the fuck up with that. Black on black. If you can't, as a black man, go to another neighborhood in your city because of what you wear or because of whatever, you are just as much a part of the problem. That is the culture. That is exactly what I'm saying. Adapting or adopting certain traits that negatively affect us. It's like, I could understand if it was raising healthier families, if it was raising the property quality. I could understand if it was making the schools in those wards look better, the grades were improving. I could understand if less and less black men and black women were on food stamps and EBT. I could understand if the gun violence was decreasing and the graffiti wasn't everywhere and people wasn't loitering and all that, but that's not what's happening. So it's either you had somebody who was conditioned to just be easily triggered, their pride and their ego wouldn't allow them to leave from the space that they were in because, oh, it's weak to let somebody run you off, or it's weak as a black person to let a white person do this to you. And so you have to represent black people by standing up to the white person. And it's either that bullshit, or they've really tried to press him. And they really tried to press him to the extent that he did what he did. It's neither here nor there. I wasn't there. I didn't see the footage. The testimony on any of it. God knows. God knows exactly what went down. how it went down, and who was right and who was in the wrong. So it's not really necessary for me to lose sleep over it. I just feel sad for how it went down because it definitely could have been a different outcome. But what I'm trying to get at here is there's an action, there's a reaction. I don't know how I feel. There's two sides to this. Who created the idea to literally create a generated picture of black men and black women taking a piss on somebody's grave? Who thought that was funny? Who thought that was mature? Because either it's a white person or Asian person behind the screen doing shit to start stuff. It's a white person doing it, or it's a black person doing it, or it's somebody of a different background doing it. Either way, that shit is tasteless. That's absolutely tasteless. And I love dark humor. That ain't it. Yeah, I have a problem though. We have a problem with folks that speak up on stuff like that. You think it's cute and it's funny. It tells me more about your personality trait. Who you hang around with. I would never in my life make fun of anybody like that. When I first seen that, I'm like, hold up. Ain't nobody that bold. Nobody's that bold to go record a real video of them taking a piss on somebody's. I know it happens. I know there's people who are that vindictive and wicked out here. I just couldn't see it. And then so I went on ahead and did my research, and I found out it's an AI generated clip video. It's just somebody literally took time to sit in front of their laptop or in front of their phone, iPad. They put in a prompt, created a script. Like that's some weirdo shit. That's some real creepy weirdo shit. Because a lot of these apps you gotta pay for to use that shit. So you paid to start drama. You took time out of your day to disrespect the dead. That's normal to y'all though. And then you go on and you're posting and you're having a field day with it. And then I guess you expect every black person on the face of the planet to be in solidarity with that bull. Like we just supposed to laugh at it and joke with it. You know how many people I done buried? Do you know how it feels to see a person who has life in their face, life in their body, going from seeing them animated to laying a fucking casket cold? They don't even look like themselves anymore. Do you understand the pain? The conversation that you try to have with a person that you are going to see for the last time? There's nothing left. They're a shell. You go from life to lifeless. I don't care how you feel about anybody on this planet. You should never have that type of hate inside of your heart. that you will want to put that type of pain on somebody if you've ever felt it yourself. Bruh, it's ridiculous. But guess what? Just like you said, a lot, and matter of fact, put it this way, there's a lot of people, they're alive, but they are basically dead. They dead in the spirit. Yeah, you're walking around and you freestyling and you smoking your cigarillos and you having sex and you being angry and you starting fights and doing all types of ignorant stuff, arguing on the internet about senseless stuff, but you dead inside, bro. Sis, you dead inside. You're absolutely dead inside because you don't care about human life. You don't care about yourself. You spend half of your time on the internet arguing and trolling people because you're miserable. Whoever began or whoever was the first person to do this, oh, it's going to get nasty. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be very ugly. You've got the ball rolling on it. In the video, it said they arrested somebody for it. But given the fact that that's AI generated video, unless there's other clips of it, that one person just started something that will not go away. This is why it's extremely important to get rid of any bitterness, anything in your heart that makes you hate people, dislike people. If you got something in your heart that make you not love yourself, and that not love, the love that you don't have for yourself comes out in the form of causing chaos in everybody else's life. If that's you, you need to get help. You need to stay away from certain folks. You need fellowship. You need prayer. You need holy water. Because that's not normal. It's no different than the latest trend. See, y'all more focused on the fact that it's a black kid who's doing 35 years and a white kid. Matter of fact, y'all don't even give a damn about the white kid being gone. Y'all don't care about that. Y'all care that this boy is going to jail, and he's going to jail for a significant amount of years. That's all you care about. Matter of fact, I take it a step further. When y'all have these conversations, because I've listened to a lot of different personalities have them, all y'all can think about is, was it self-defense or was it intentional? Well, why don't y'all go a little deeper into it? Please. Because you saying, oh, another white supremacist group got away with doing murder, even though it was actually the kid that did the murder. So it's all white people when it's all black people. I could say that. I could absolutely say. I can absolutely say, if I was basing school shootings, Holocaust, if I was comparing apples and oranges, I would just say everybody is not to be trusted. Everybody that's watching is not to be trusted. All of you are drug dealers and killers and adulterers. All of you have killed somebody. All of you, I could do that. If that was the case, I might as well just condemn you all. But you know that's not how that works. You say he went there starting for trouble. Other people say he was invited to the tent. You hear, you see the kerfuffle, the issue. There's too many different stories. That's why I don't trust none of it. But that's a scenario that could absolutely be true. And there's people who do it. There are people out here, black men and black. Matter of fact, let's not even do that. There are men and women out here of all colors who got that type of spirit in them, that they go looking specifically for trouble. And they target specific people for it. Some people just randomly do it. So, yeah, that's not even off the table. You don't put yourself in situations where you end up doing 35 years. How about that? How about that? I know I can't walk around here with a weapon on me if I don't have emotional control. If you know you trigger happy, short-tempered, your communication skills suck, you get offended easily by words, you don't need to operate machinery of any kind. You are a threat and a danger to the rest of us. Period. You shouldn't be even doing 35. You are an athlete. You were doing your numbers, from what I understand. You supposed to be going off to college, preparing for it. But that comes with age and wisdom. Why would you even put yourself in a situation like that? I'm not even trying to just target him because he got what he got, because he put himself in the situation that he's in, period. If you didn't have the weapon on you, if you didn't attend when you probably wasn't supposed to, we wouldn't have this outcome. So what made you go? And what made Austin feel the way that he felt? There's always two sides. There's always a cause and effect. But somebody got to be the more mature person in every situation. Even if you argue that Austin was a hothead, even if you argue that Carmelo was a hothead, we deal with this on a daily basis, on and off the job, in our household. Somebody got to be a wiser individual in this case. And I haven't heard too many good things about people getting away with anything in Texas that was of his color. Which is funny because somebody on TikTok, they did a recap I wish I could find it. I should have saved it. I'm not playing around with that. I'm not going anywhere or going into any environment where I'm not welcome unless God is saying you need to be here. And even with that, you still have to use a certain level of discernment, and you have to have a certain level of control over yourself and have that listening ear so that you can navigate the environment that you are in. They can be ignorant. You have a responsibility to have self-control. Y'all be on this, I gotta match energy. I gotta do what they do. All right, go ahead and do what they do. You get 40, 35 years, or you get hung, or you catch a disease, or you get your entire life wiped away off of a decision to retaliate or respond the way that they did. It's expected for them to do it. That's how the enemy works. Satan is so good at what he does, he just gave this man 35 years. Satan took away that man's college career, any future he may have had in anything outside of prison, took away his whole future. The desires of your heart, those vices, them triggers, it's them things that be within a human being, man. If you don't understand, he was right around the corner from having everything that he possibly could dream of. You know how many people wish they could play professional in whatever sport it was, but they didn't get to? You had it and you let it go. The Metcalf family, they lost a son. Ain't no coming back from that. But y'all want to keep making this about race. It's not about race. It's about checks and balances. It's about being an example, showing that God exists through you in order to heal and break habits and cycles. How can you show that God is real if you don't move like God is real? How can anybody see God if they don't see him in you? So everybody is just supposed to serve Satan and move like that. Right. Don't know who this kid was. That was absolutely disgusting. No, whoever thought about that, like, it's not even just this. Y'all been doing this for a very, very long time. Y'all take people's misfortunes and then you remix it and you turn it into a carnival. People be falling off their bikes, breaking bones, and all type of shit. Y'all be putting the Isley Brothers music to it. Y'all be putting Bill DeVoe music to it. Y'all be turning them into cartoon characters. Y'all be flipping them in all type. Y'all be on some real greedy, grimy stuff. And it really just be for clicks, views, and likes. You just want the attention. Ain't nothing creative about that. That's disrespectful as hell. If that was your loved one, If someone did that to you, you will want somebody to feel your pain too. I'm sure of it. It wouldn't be he ha ha. You want me dancing around and reposting and doing? No, you wouldn't. Don't act like you wouldn't. You would be mad as hell. That's like spitting in somebody's face. You peeing on somebody, urinating on someone's headstone. Think about it like this. How does it make sense to have so much hatred for a group of people that never did anything to you? How does that make sense? So I'm supposed to hate a generation of Asian people I never had issues with because of one. You sound dumb. Yeah, y'all need to grow up. You need to grow up, period. The more and more I see stuff like this, it makes me glad that I don't have a lot of people around me. Y'all childish. You childish. You get on the internet and you steal quotes about wisdom and being this type of version of yourself and all that, but y'all are the same ones as promoting over sexualized stuff, making it seem cool, making it seem like it's okay, when you should be, I don't know, doing everything in your power to not have it being broadcast every time I scroll my timeline. We should not be looking at so much sex and death on our timeline. Unless you doing something about it, it shouldn't be highlighted like it's an entertainment piece. This is not a movie. This is real life. These are not actors. These are real people. We don't know if they went to heaven or hell. They don't have a voice anymore. You do. They don't get a chance to restart. You do. What's the problem? Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know what y'all doing though. It's going to have to be one of them situations where you have all different demographics sitting in one room having a real honest conversation about all this shit, and I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm working on it. I'm working towards it every single day I get up here. I'm not about to let y'all fuck us all over. It's not you specifically, but it might be one of y'all. I'm not about to let y'all do that. I love everybody on this planet. Whether or not they hate my guts or not, I have nothing against you because of your skin complexion. I judge you by your character, what type of person you are. You ain't got nothing to do with what they did at all. But we're going to stop acting like this isn't an assignment. Cut the bull. Get your head out your ass. That was trifling. Absolutely trifling. I had to get that off my chest. Like I said, I don't really stream on Sundays. I had to do this one though, because that's distasteful as hell. Probably a grown ass man or a woman too that did it. If I see it on my timeline, if I see any of it, I'm blocking you. And I'm reporting it. Period. That's crazy. But look, y'all do what y'all will with this. I'm just rambling, sharing my thoughts and opinions on things that I see going on in the world. I try to be unbiased. I ain't really got no dog in this fight. I offer a different perspective than most people. It might not always be popular, but it's mine. And I'm humble and I'm grateful to be here and had this platform to do it. Shout outs to everybody who pulled up this afternoon. Got a fresh lineup this week. If you can, come through, hang out with us. If not, drive safe. Have a blessed week. Get that stuff out of your spirit. If you got anything in your heart or in your spirit that's not godly, it's time to let that go. That being said, though, do me a solid before you go, if you don't mind. Hold on a minute.
What's the goddamn button?
Y'all be easy.
The flow insane, take my spot, so the range. Shoot my shot with perfect aim. 3rd degree, that perfect flame. Ain't no sleep, that's the game. Oh, so southern, that's the slang. When they see me, that's the main. Chasing checks and fly like planes. Big old stick, I bought a cane. Flick my wrist and bought the ring. I'm so boss, we're not the same. Paid the cost and kept the change. Now I'm walking Hall of Fame. And I reside in the cloud. Grand wishes with these bitches.